After the 2024 T20 World Cup, when Afghanistan actually made it all the way to the semi-finals, there's been an expectation that, at least in the shortest format of the game, they could very well be a serious threat, especially in subcontinental conditions. However, it's fair to say that that's not really been the case in not just one, but two tournaments for Afghanistan recently. They didn't make much of an impact in the Asia Cup that took place prior to the T20 World Cup, and then in the T20 World Cup itself, largely underwhelmed. This led to a fair bit of change within the team because, again, Jonathan Trott, the head coach, has been replaced. There's also been changes made to the coaching staff. So clearly there's a recognition that perhaps not enough is being done by the current lot of players and that perhaps a change of voice is needed as far as the leadership side is concerned. But can this also impact the captain? Because right now, there's been a lot of noise surrounding Rashid Khan. Not only Afghanistan's star player, their most recognizable star, but also arguably one of their best players ever, and someone who has been leading the side. But his captaincy has seemingly affected his form. And there are noises coming out that potentially there could be a change in captaincy if things don't improve soon, or even right now if the Afghanistan Cricket Board so decides. However, what we've heard so far from ACB members suggests that whilst it is something that could be considered, as of now, no decision has been taken. This is what ACB Chief Executive Rashid Khan had to say when quizzed about this entire circumstance. He said that we're currently considering reforms within the team. However, no final decision has been made regarding the captains yet. So, whilst reform is being considered, there's no official indication, at least not on record, that Afghanistan are choosing to replace their captain. And in a way, you can understand why that's the case, that they not want to confirm it until it was definitely done and dusted. Because again, if you're confirming that yes, we're considering it, it's as much of an admission. These are the conversations that ideally you'd want to have behind closed doors. And in a way, it makes sense that, look, the ACB are choosing to handle this in that manner because it just doesn't make sense to publicly invite such speculation when that speculation is already out in the open anyway. However, if it were to happen, it would mark the end of what's been a tumultuous up and down reign of Rashid. Because whilst a lot of people remember only his recent times, people tend to forget that his time as Afghanistan captain actually started a long while ago, but it's been up and down. In fact, it's worth remembering that he became Afghanistan's captain in 2019 after their ill-fated ODI World Cup, which saw Gulbuddin Naib somehow become the captain. But after that, he ended up stepping down due to disagreements with the board and the team management ahead of the 2021 T20 World Cup, which then led to Afghanistan appointing Mohammad Nabi as the captain for a year before then Rashid took on the role after the 2022 T20 World Cup. So he's actually been captain since 2019, barring a brief spell on the sidelines wherein he had left the captaincy and decided that no, I don't want the burden of it. Obviously, there have been highs. As I mentioned, the 2024 T20 World Cup, they made it as far as the semis, but there was an expectation that they would be competing for the Asia Cup and at least making it deep in the World Cup, neither of which happened. But what do you guys think? Is it a fair call to decide to sack Rashid, or do Afghanistan need to stick with him and give him a little bit more time? Let us know your thoughts on that in the comments below, and don't forget as always to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap that bell icon, follow us also on social media. We're on Instagram, X and Facebook, and stay tuned for more such updates from the world of sport.